everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we will be talking about balancing school and work. Awesome stuff. So like many, financial struggles are real. So I was forced to go into the workplace because we did not have money at home for me to continue my studies. And so took the decision that, hey, apply for things with your undergrad. Hopefully you win. Oh my gosh. And so went that route of going into the workplace without a postgraduate study. But that dream, that desire to go back to school was always there. And, I'd pray about it and like, God, when is the time? When can I go back to school? 2019, actually 2018, because applications opened 2018. I decided, hey, in 2019, I'd actually like to go back to school and continue my studies. Applied, got feedback back that, hey, we'd like you to come in and do this and this and that. Went for the testings, the different things that you need to go through, the different levels in order to get the final acceptance letter. I remember I was in the car, I think it was sometime in Jan. I was in the car with my fiance and someone else, I can't remember who it was, in the back. And I get a ping of an email on my phone, and I open that email and oh snap, the heading is, letter of confirmation from the school. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I can't open this. And so I hand it to my fiance for him to read, and I'm like, okay, breathe. What does it say? And he's like, congratulations, you've been accepted. Oh my gosh, I was so happy. I think I cried. I think I cried that day because I was so happy because, man, okay, God, so you want me to do this. Because after, I've been praying for going back to school for such a long time, and I wasn't sure even that, okay, God, is this the time? Do you want me to go back to school? All of these things, will I be able to do it and all of that? And for him to open that door for me to go back to school, it was a confirmation to me that, okay, God, this is where you want me as well. And so my journey with school and work began. So what did this entail? Me taking on school while working. So it entailed me doing it part-time, which meant the program allowed me to split the years or split my subjects and do it over a course of 2 years. And so I had my first year in 2019 and I'm having my second year this year to combine into this 1 year program. So there's kids like myself as a kid. I feel like I'm a kid. So there's other people who are doing it in 1 year, and then if you're doing it part-time, thank goodness the program allowed that I do it over 2 years, but the same amount of subjects just over 2 years, so that it could accommodate my not being able to be present full time in my studies. So what else it entailed is the classes would be in the evenings. Because I work during the day, evenings were the only time when I had time to be able to do anything school related or anything else related. And so that was really cool. So yes, journey began, and I'm thinking, yes, let's conquer this. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to blow this out of the water. Yeah, I'm nearly done with my second year. It's my final year. And man, have there been so many lessons that have come out of this journey of balancing school and work. So the first thing I learned was that a support structure is a very, very important. It's one thing, school is tough on its own when you're doing it full time and you have nothing else that you're doing on the side. So imagine now having to balance doing school and working. That is a big task. I remember a time when my fiance came to my place. He had my key where I live. I don't know where I was. I was somewhere. Either I was doing school in the evening, or I'm not sure where I was. And it was a weekend, I think. Yes, it was a weekend. And he came over to my place. He cooked, I think 3 different meals and packaged them in Tupperwares or scuffteens. What's the English word for this? Stuff that you packaging stuff. I can't think of the English word for this right now. And he put it all in a different containers. He put it all in different containers and he stored it in the fridge, and he left a note, or he texted me, I can't remember, and he said, hey, there's food that you can eat tonight or today in the microwave. I made some food for the whole week. So basically this man made food for me for the whole week, because I think it was going to be a hectic week or something of the nature, and he had made food for the whole week, prepared food for me for the whole week. Because I'm that guy, when I'm like deep within working, I forget to eat, and then I wake up later thinking, oh snap, I'm hungry, I'm actually really hungry. And so he had done that for me, and that is another form of support structure, and just having people to vent to when you're having a tough time balancing or tired. A beautiful thing as well is at work, they were also a support structure when I couldn't attend to certain things because I was either, gone because I had an exam to write or something was happening with school. They will easily be like, hey, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it, you'll deal with it when you come back. And that was really amazing. And yeah, it was just a blessing from God. That experience of trying to balance school and work actually taught me that you can't do this journey alone. You need a support structure. You need either your family, your friends, loved one, whoever. You need somebody to be there to, knock some reality in you, or, take care of you in the small ways when you can't take care of yourself. So yeah, I learned that. The second one is, but trying to do school and work will require sacrifice. That was a big one because, now you didn't have the free time as before to just, hey, wake up on a Saturday or during the week even to just go and, hey, let's hang out. Or, you didn't have as much available time on your hands to be able to, hang out with friends, to attend events, whether it's in the church or in your community, or just fun things that you like doing. Now you couldn't do that. So now I realize that, relationships and friendships are about to change. And so for example, my relationship with my fiance, it had to adapt, it had to transform and now look different, because now there was barely time to, hang out with myself, just even by myself. There's barely time to do that. We had to be intentional about scheduling time to hang out, scheduling time to, have certain conversations, schedule time to just have a time out and, relax. It had to be intentional. Even friendships, they had to adapt as well. They had to adapt and grow, and, they had to be so much understanding. My friends had to understand majorly that, wow, now I won't be able to show up for you as I could before. I can't be there for you in that way anymore. I can't be readily available to, just jump in my car and go as before, because I was either in school or work, or you're doing an assignment, or you're studying for an exam, a test. So there were so many dynamics that had to change in my relationship and my friendships to now accommodate this new season. And unfortunately, some friendships didn't adapt and they fell away, which was really sad. But yeah, we live and we grow. So yeah. And I had to realize, as I said, that it's a season. It's not forever. As scripture says, that there's a time for everything, a time to live and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to reap, a time to rejoice or laugh and a time to mourn. There's a season and a time for everything under the earth, on the earth, I mean. So yeah, I had to learn that, okay, this is just for the time being. This is a season of my life that I have to sacrifice the fun. I have to sacrifice, certain things that I want to do with my time, realizing the bigger picture that, okay, I'm doing this for a purpose. God didn't just place me here just for the fun of it, just to see, hey, how do you pan out? But it's actually for a purpose, even though I don't understand right now what the purpose of why he has me doing this is. I know that it's for a greater purpose, and he will use this as well, what I'm studying, or what I learned from studying, the lessons outside of the classroom, the lessons I've learned around trying to balance school and work. He'll use that in some way to either help somebody else or to grow me even further in my character and just my walk with him. And then the last thing I learned was that your best is enough. My best was enough. Because I think we take it for granted that, man, life in its simplest form is already hard. And then multitasking, doing multiple things, is even more taxing. So there'd be times when I'd get 2 hours of sleep in between knocking off from work, going to class, coming back, starting an assignment or trying to finish off an assignment or studying or something of the sort, and then getting 2 hours sleep and then having to wake up and go to work. And as I mentioned in the beginning, that support structure, I feel so blessed that, man, the team that I was a part of was so patient with me, was so loving towards me, man. When they saw that, okay, today you look tired. Let's go grab a coffee. Then we go grab a coffee. Do you need to chat? Get something off your chest. They'd be there. I'd do the work as best as I could, at work, and get that support structure. So that was really, really cool. But realizing that, oh man, all I can do is my best. All I could do was my best, because there were times when, especially this year, actually there was lots of times last year as well, where I was like, I'm done. I am good. This is not for me. Jesus, I don't know why you allowed this to happen. Why did you allow me to be so jajara and go into this when I know very well I can't do this? And I was probably right that I couldn't do this because I needed his strength. I needed the strength of the community around me as well. I couldn't do it by myself, really. I was right that I could not do it by myself. But in terms of God placing it on my plate, he knew that, no, you are able to do this. I'm calling you to do this because I know how I'm going to use this, even though I don't understand at the moment. And so there were times when this year, I think I can remember more this year than last year, even though I know it was hard as well last year. But, this year, even the dynamic of the corona and lockdown happening, and so classes being online introduced a new dynamic, and so exams were online. And I remember it's so mind boggles me. There were so many assignments we're doing all at once, and this information and that information. At some point it got so much and I would be breaking down and just like, oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm doing this, oh my gosh. And I'd have to be intentional about taking time out. Be intentional, be like, okay, no, today I'm resting. After an assignment, I am resting today. I'm not doing this. I'm resting today to recoup my mind so that I'm fresh and, can pour into the next work with everything that I have as well. And I remember this one exam where it was, so most of the exams were due at 10 to 12 midnight. And so it was almost time. I was like 5 minutes to the due date of submission. Once the due date is done, the system closes. You can't submit anymore. And I was not even close to being done. I remember just like typing it, like so tired. I was so tired. I was like physically tired. I was mentally tired and just pushing and crawling to the finish line and still being so far from the finish line, but just like, God, I need to do this. Oh my gosh. I remember submitting. I submitted anyway. I submitted the paper. I was like, you know what? I did my best. I poured into this exam my best. I showed up. That's the most important thing. I showed up for this exam. I poured my best, all I could do, into this exam. And hey, whatever happens, God, at least I can walk away saying I did my best. Yeah, and I remember calling my fiance. It's midnight now. Thank goodness he was awake. And like, oh, I didn't finish my exam. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fail. Oh Jesus. Oh no, I am going to fail. And he reassuring me that no, man, you did your best and all of that. And I was drained. I was like, again, goes back to the support structure. You can't do this journey alone. But yeah, I was like, you know what, if I walk away and I feel like I've done my best, which I feel I have done my best, I'm good. I'm proud of myself. I think that's the other thing. Starting from yourself, Guti, are you proud of yourself? Before anybody else can be proud of you, are you proud of yourself that, hey, you've done a great job, you've poured in all that you can, you've put in your best effort, best foot forward, then you can walk away and be like, hey, I've done my best, because it's been a hard 2 years. There's been a couple of times I've broken down, I've just been a mess because I'm physically tired or mentally tired. And man, having that community, whether it's one person in the community or 2 or 3, picking you up and encouraging you and saying, hey, you can do it was cool. And we can also get rid of the notion that we can only glorify God in church activities or things related to church. No, in everything and every way that God has placed us, we glorify him. And there's a scripture that says that in everything, may God be glorified. And so whether you're in school, whether you in the workplace, whether it's a hospital, whether it's corporate or a church setting or whatever setting it is, wherever God has placed us, we are glorifying him. So man, I think I was breaking down because I was just like, God, I don't want to disappoint you. I want to put my best foot forward. I want to glorify you in everything, because you've entrusted me with this season of school and work, and I want to glorify you the best that I can. And I had to take that pressure off and be like, hey, God will carry me. God will carry me through this season, and I'm glorifying him just by showing up my best. Just by putting in my best, that reflects him, that reflects the excellence that he is, and glorifies him. And at work, when I show up and I'm like kind to the next person, when I do my best work, when I submit my all, the all that I've put into that piece of work, I glorify him. So I had to get rid of that other notion that, because I kept asking myself, am I glorifying God, by doing school, or is it my own ambitions? And then I had to realize, actually, no, one, God opened this door, where God doesn't want me, he would not open the door. I asked that specifically from him, that God, if you don't want me here, you will not open that door, please. I don't want to be where you're not. And so he opened the door. So I was like, okay, God, you want this for me. You want me to glorify you in this space. I don't know how you're going to use it, but I know that you will show up with me every day, whether I'm tired, whether I'm energetic, whatever I will go through in the season. So go out there as well. Glorify God in the spaces you're in. Whether it's like me, balancing work and school, which I'm ending soon. Thank you, Jesus. Whether it's, balancing having a family and work, whether it's balancing school and, providing for your siblings, or whatever the situation is, may we be glorifying God in the different spaces that we put in, because that's pleasing to him. And man, if we say we're believers, that's what we live for. glorifying him, making his name known in the different spaces. So yeah, I hope wherever you are, you're encouraged and you go and be the light in whatever corner that you put in. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to Journey Tells All. And you can also follow me at Miss_Nonge on Instagram. But yeah, see you next time.